Season 3, No More Nice series. When avoiding conflict cost us ourselves. What if avoiding conflict is not always kindness? But sometimes it's fear, it's survival, it's hypervigilance, it's emotional conditioning, or self-abandonment. Because many of us were never taught healthy conflict or healthy conflict resolution for that matter. We were taught stay quiet, stay agreeable, keep the peace, avoid tension, don't upset people, don't disrupt the group, and don't risk rejection. But eventually silence can become emotionally expensive. And today we're talking about conflict avoidance, emotional predictability, unlimited emotional access, discernment, people-pleasing, nervous system survival, healthy confrontation, and what happens when preserving connection slowly costs us ourselves. Hey y'all, I'm Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan and my BFF, my bestie, my best friend for real. I am a celebrity certified personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, raised in Dallas, Texas, and built in Los Angeles, California, the city of angels. I trained at Juilliard in New York City with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in over 450 fitness DVDs. And the first of those DVDs was led by a celebrity trainer and the GOAT Gunnar Peterson, known for training the Kardashian family. As a certified celebrity personal trainer myself, I've worked with Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, and Amber Riley of Glee, Dancing with the Stars, and The Masked Singer champion. And as a sports and entertainment media host, I've had the joy of interviewing Richard Branson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emma Stone, Viola Davis, Tyler Perry, and Tiana Taylor, to name a few. I share my story not to toot my own horn, but to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom planted and it's still making for me today so that I could blossom into the woman I am still becoming. So if you're listening at home, pull up a real chair. If you're listening online, pull up a digital chair and grab some hot herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. Now C2TC8, H.E.R, which stands for High Performing, Empowered Women and Men, Ready to Thrive. That's the circle. And it is a 15-minute micro-learning moment for macro living. And I am so overjoyed that you are here, because this is where we explore and lean into life, spirit, mind, and body through lived experiences, yours and mine, and intentional decision-making and growth and transformation. So join me daily for just 15 minutes a day, twice a daily, at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central, because this is your daily pause for a cause, for clarity, for wellness, for allowing grace in this space, in whatever space you're in, and for intentional decision-making. In each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 reflection question. My prayer and my hope is that the 3 keys are something practical, something grounded, something spirit-led, and something that we could sit with and carry with us throughout the day. New episodes launch the 15th of every month, and for the next 15 days, you'll get those 2 episodes, one at 8 a.m. and one at 8 p.m. Central. So let's start by taking a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear, and let's get ready. Let's get set, and let's grow. Recently, I was listening to a message from Dr. Myles Munroe about niceness, discernment, conflict avoidance, emotional accessibility, and purpose. And it deeply challenged me to think on a larger scale about how often many of us, especially women, avoid conflict, suppress honesty, overextend ourselves emotionally, or overgive to people, or give people unlimited access, in ways that slowly disconnect us from ourselves and our purpose. And what resonated with me most was not domination or perfection or control. It was this idea that grounded, discerning, and using your spiritual discernment and emotionally honest people often influence the atmosphere differently because they stop abandoning themselves to maintain a connection. And it stuck with me, and it's still staying with me, and it's something that I'm still sitting with. And I want to share what I'm learning and growing through in this season of my life, because some of us were never taught healthy conflict. Not only healthy conflict, but healthy conflict resolution. We were just taught survival. And survival for a lot of people, including myself, including people that I learned from, was to stay quiet, stay agreeable, don't upset people, keep the peace, don't challenge authority, don't disrupt the group dynamic, don't make people uncomfortable, don't risk rejection, and don't risk abandonment. And that's different in a relationship as well, too, especially for women who look like me, what that looks like in a relationship in order to, quote unquote, be agreeable, or for a man to be pleased. And over time, that conflict avoidance can quietly become emotional self-abandonment, because avoiding conflict does not always preserve the peace. Sometimes it preserves dysfunction, and sometimes it can create abandonment, or people ghosting you, or people outing you of a group. And some of us become so focused on maintaining connection that we slowly disconnect from ourselves in the process. And physiologically, the body carries that. And sometimes what the mouth doesn't say, the body will eventually speak. And the body often carries the emotional weight of conversations we keep postponing. It comes in the form of jaw clenching, chest tightness, digestive discomfort, racing thoughts, difficulty sleeping, mental rumination, going over it over and over and over again, and letting people live in your mind rent-free because you didn't have the conversations directly with the person, but you're having them in your head, and you're talking around the person, but never directly to the person. And talking around the person looks like gossip. It could also be nervous system bracing, hypervigilance, emotional exhaustion, internally rehearsing conversations over and over and over in your head, feeling emotionally responsible for everyone else's comfort, because some people learn to become emotionally agreeable as a survival strategy. And it's not because we lack intelligence. It's not because we lack discernment, but because honestly, once we felt emotionally unsafe, we decided that I'm going to be safer. And being safer means not speaking up. And eventually that emotional predictability develops. He knows you won't say no. They know you won't say no. They know you won't walk away, or he knows you won't walk away, or he knows you won't confront him, or the group knows you won't confront anyone. And that line from Dr. Myles Munroe hit me so deeply, because emotionally unhealthy environments often stay and become comfortable with people who continuously self-silence you. Some relationships survive only because one person continuously self-abandons to preserve the connection. And when people repeatedly override their own discomfort, their own boundaries, their own discernment, their own honesty, their own nervous system can slowly adapt to emotional suppression as normal. This is just the way it is. And this is where discernment becomes important, because discernment is not you being arrogant. Discernment is stewardship. And not everyone deserves unrestricted access to your vulnerability, your emotions, your spirit, your nervous system, your energy, your peace, or private thoughts. And on social media, it's funny to hear people say, oh, this is a safe space. And really, the only safe space you could actually only have is with a therapist or someone that really knows you and that won't judge you like your parents or your best friend that has consistently shown up for you. And so healing may require learning that everyone should not have equal emotional access to us. And that doesn't make someone cruel. It makes us discerning. Because some people were assigned to walk with us temporarily, and that does not automatically mean they were assigned unlimited emotional access. And this is where I think many of us misunderstand what it means to command the atmosphere. Grounded people naturally shift environments because emotional honesty, calmness, discernment, boundaries, emotional regulation, clarity, and alignment influence the emotional atmosphere around them. People who stop emotionally shape-shifting and bending often change environments simply by becoming more honest, more discerning, and more internally aligned. And your delivery matters too. You could be kind and honest with a certain tone. And it has to be something that you have resolved, right? That you've kind of worked through. Because sometimes honesty, it could come across, because most people aren't used to it, it could come across as loud, harsh, crass, and dominant. But really, there's a difference in those words when you are grounded in your truth and your purpose. And this is where SAC becomes important. Spontaneous, assertive communication, not aggression, not hostility, not emotionally dumping on people, but honest, timely, grounded communication. Saying what needs to be said in that moment, in that minute, without abandoning ourselves afterwards. Because healing may require learning that honesty and boundaries are not automatically acts of rejection, disrespect, or danger. Sometimes conflict is not what destroys peace. Avoidance does. And some healing seasons require us to stop sacrificing ourselves just to remain emotionally acceptable to people who benefited from our silence. Which brings me to the 3 keys. Key number 1, conflict avoidance can quietly become emotional self-abandonment and sometimes self-sabotage. And some people become emotionally predictable because they learn survival through silence, accommodation, overgiving, people-pleasing, emotional suppression, and avoiding relational disruption at all costs. And normally the cost is you or us. Key number 2, the body often carries the emotional weight of conversations, boundaries, honesty, and discomfort we keep postponing. And chronic self-silencing can contribute to hypervigilance, mental rumination, jaw tension, digestive discomfort, emotional exhaustion, nervous system bracing, and chronic emotional stress. Which brings me to key number 3. Discernment is not arrogance. Discernment is stewardship. And healing may require learning that not everyone and anybody deserves unrestricted access to our vulnerability, our peace, our emotions, our spirit, our energy, what we're growing through, and our nervous system. Grounded, emotionally honest, discerning people often shift environments naturally because they stop abandoning themselves to preserve unhealthy connections. And that could include the different people that you're around, family members, friends, people who are friendly, even frenemies. I don't believe in frenemies because either they're your friend or they're your enemy. There's no in between. And sometimes people that are friends really are enemies. So really discerning what that looks like in the reciprocity in that friendship, and words aligning with action is important. So the one reflection question for today is, where in my life have I been preserving connection, avoiding conflict, over-explaining, self-silencing myself, or giving unrestricted emotional access to people who don't deserve it, and people that you are not assigned to, in ways that may be costing us honesty, peace, discernment, nervous system safety, or emotional alignment? So before you go, I want to truly say thank you for sharing this time with me. It has been an honor to sit with you and praying for grace in this space with you. So let's quickly revisit today's 3 keys. Key number 1, Conflict avoidance can quietly become emotional self-sabotage or abandonment. Key number 2, the body often carries the emotional weight of conversations and boundaries, honesty, and discomfort we keep postponing. Key number 3, discernment is not arrogance. Discernment is stewardship. And our one reflection question, because this is something I am sitting and growing through as well. Where in my life have I been preserving connection, avoiding conflict, over-explaining, self-silencing, or giving unrestricted emotional access in ways that may be costing me my honesty, my truth, my peace, my discernment, and trying to preserve a nervous system safety or emotional alignment? So if today's episode offered you clarity, grounding, or a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, or if there's anything that I've shared today that pricked your heart or lit a spark, please subscribe and share this episode and this podcast with someone you care about. And leave a comment so that this isn't a monologue but a dialogue. And please leave a 5-star rating if you feel led, or send me a text. It helps this space to grow and reach others. Now let's close with one breath. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. We're exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. This is Cut to the Chase at 8, C2TC8, H.E.R, high performing empowered women and some men who are ready to thrive circle. I am Madison Samone Chase. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready, set, grow, and go, and be great. Blessings to you and yours. Until tomorrow.